I get this question a lot. 2 or 3 times a week, a viewer wants to know what the heck's wrong with my hands, or they call me an alcoholic, as if that's the default reason someone's hands may shake. But some folks are well-meaning, and I appreciate their genuine concern, so I decided to make this video to answer their questions. I have what's called essential tremor. At least that's what it appears to be. Frankly, there's no way to positively diagnose something like this. Doctors primarily look at the symptoms, and my symptoms are typical of that. They started when I was just a little kid, and they've been with me my whole life. It's a degenerative neurological disorder that causes shaking in the hands and sometimes other parts of the body, like the legs, the head, even the voice. No, it's not the same as Parkinson's disease. My muscles mostly shake when they're active, such as when I'm trying to hold something up in the air. That's what you see a lot of time in my videos. Parkinson's disease, on the other hand, causes muscle tremors all the time, even when they're at rest. They aren't sure what causes essential tremor, but there is some evidence that it may be genetic. And in my case, my great-grandmother, who lived until 2005, used to constantly shake her head from side to side, like she was saying no all the time. We thought it was hilarious when we were kids. So it's possible that I inherited the gene from her. Or I may just be one of the unlucky 2% of the population who just have shaky hands and nobody knows why. So what does that mean for me and my work? Who knows? Essential tremor does get worse with age, and my symptoms are more noticeable now than they were when I was a kid. But I still have a very mild case. Even though it often looks bad in certain videos, I think the camera tends to exaggerate it. You probably wouldn't even notice it if you saw me in public. Like I said, I've been dealing with this my whole life, even back before I was a woodworker. I used to work in pen and ink and oil paints and pastels, and I managed just fine despite shaky hands. I haven't done this type of art in years, and my symptoms have gotten a bit worse since then, but I'm pretty sure I could still paint if I tried. I even carve wood from time to time, and I can do that as long as I'm patient and keep my hands supported. That's the key for me. If I have to hold something still up in the air, that's when I have trouble. But that's rarely something you do in woodworking. When I cut something on the saw, the workpiece rests on the machine itself, so I'm not using the muscles in my hands and arms in a way that leads to tremors. Or if I'm working with a handheld power tool like a router, the weight of the tool in contact with the workpiece keeps me nice and stable. So for those who ask if it's a safety issue, not at all. I do, though, have some difficulty with traditional hand tool tasks. It's difficult for me to balance a chisel on end, such as when I'm chopping dovetails for mortises. That can be frustrating, and sometimes I just have to quit and walk away. But I manage because, as I said, my symptoms are still very mild at this point. Those with severe cases can't hold a glass of water or feed themselves, so I'm a long way from that. And there's a pretty good chance I'll never get even close to that bad. It will get worse in time, but there's no telling how much worse. Some folks progress very slowly, and I've always been a little slow. So that's why my hands shake in our videos. No, I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm not dying either. This is something I've managed my whole life, and I plan on being a woodworker for a very long time. Be sure to check out the latest issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal, always full of great tips, tricks, and tutorials designed to make you a better woodworker. You can read and subscribe for free at stumpynubs.com. See you next time.